What's up, everybody? This is the NDFX channel here on YouTube, guys. This is my all comics, video games, fun, entertainment, movies, stuff like that channel. Guys, my name's Nick. And hope you guys can like, comment, subscribe to this channel. And you know what? Let's get into it, man. Today we're getting into The Rock is joining the MCU for X-Men role. Is it Apocalypse? Let's get it.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the Cosmic Wonder, where we talk Marvel every day. And right now, a lot is going down with Marvel Studios and with the MCU. Filming for Avengers Doomsday starts next month, and then right after that, Spider-Man 4 is going to begin filming as well. And although this has not been confirmed by Marvel Studios yet, Thor 5 is reportedly going to start filming in 2025 as well. So a lot coming up for Marvel Studios. They're continuing to build out.
Oh, shout out to the Cosmic Wonder channel here on YouTube as well. You know, he puts together really amazing videos. So you guys check out his channel as well.
About the story for the multiverse saga's end with Avengers Doomsday and Avengers Secret Wars, but they are planning beyond that as well, with the X-Men coming to the MCU in the mutant era, as Marvel Studios president Kevin Feige has officially dubbed it. He said what's coming next is the mutant era, and they're hard at work on that era already. We have a confirmed X-Men movie coming very soon, right after Avengers Secret Wars. It's either going to be the first or second film of the next phase of the MCU, so they have begun working on it pretty heavily, including casting the X-Men. Marvel Studios right now is on the hunt for a perfect X-Men cast, and there's a casting rumor, we'll call it right now, going around that is, I would say, kind of controversial. Maybe not controversial, but just divided in the fandom right now. And that rumor is that The Rock is going to play a major character in the X-Men franchise. I have seen so many funny comments about this online already. The hierarchy of the MCU is about to change. Can you smell what Apocalypse is cooking? I've seen just a ton of comments about this, and I've seen people for this and against this. And this is the rumor that The Rock is
some of these images that people like conjure up and do, they look really amazing, actually, man. Like some of this AI stuff, sometimes people draw these things. Some of the, like this right here, I mean, this looks pretty sweet. He looks pretty sweet as Apocalypse, man.
Is being eyed by Marvel Studios to possibly play Apocalypse in the MCU. This report is coming from the insider My Time to Shine Hello. That's why we're calling this a rumor for now. She's very hit and miss, so take it with a grain of salt. But this isn't the first time that we've heard this rumor. And I bet you more than anything, The Rock is itching to join the MCU. He was supposed to be a huge player in the DC universe. He was supposed to change the hierarchy of the DCU. He brought back Henry Cavill Superman in the Black Adam post-credit scene. He had a plan for DC. He wanted to bring glory to the DCU. He wanted to play Black Adam for a very, very long time. And unfortunately, it was very short-lived. James Gunn and Peter Safran were announced as the head of DC Studios, and they said that they are starting everything over. So basically, Dwayne Johnson was out. Unfortunately, that meant Henry Cavill's Superman was out as well. But ironically, he did jump ship over to the MCU, albeit very briefly. He still ended up in the MCU as a variant of Wolverine. And Deadpool, I think, cracked the perfect joke for this, saying that the MCU will treat him way better than the people down the street, DC Studios / Warner Brothers.
Yeah, guys, I thought that was awesome. Like, I don't know if you guys saw Deadpool Wolverine, but when they had that, we were in the theater watching it, and whenever you saw Henry Cavill, the Calverine, you know, make his appearance on that particular part, man, the whole theater was like, it went crazy on it. So
is The Rock next? Is he the next one to jump ship from the DCU over to the MCU? Except this time he would probably want to play a pretty big role, not just a quick cameo as a variant. And as Marvel Studios right now is casting for the X-Men, we have heard that some villains Marvel Studios is considering bringing into the MCU for the X-Men are Apocalypse and Mr. Sinister. And we do have some castings for other members of the X-Men, which we'll get into in this video. But first and foremost, let me know in the comments if you think The Rock Rock would make a good Apocalypse, and if you'd like him in the
That
MCU.
looks
I've
pretty
seen people
awesome,
say,
actually.
absolutely not, I don't want The Rock in the MCU. Or on the flip side, I've seen people say, well, actually, I think The Rock would make a pretty good Apocalypse. I think people's biggest fear with The Rock is that, like some actors out there, he kind of just plays himself in all of the movies. Like with each movie that you see him in, you don't see the character that he's playing, you just see The Rock. You just see Dwayne Johnson. But with a character like Apocalypse,
Jason Statham's like that too. Jason Statham always just plays himself, you know. But you know, I think The Rock's got some depth. You know, I think he's got some pretty good movies, man.
and some good directing. It would need some great directing, actually. Maybe it could work. And we've heard that the Russo brothers are actually going to continue on past the multiverse saga, past Avengers Doomsday and Avengers Secret Wars, and stay with the MCU and go into the mutant saga and oversee the start of that next era. And it's even said that they could possibly go on to direct the X-Men movie as well, which I think a lot of people would really love. Now, that's going to depend on the success of Avengers Doomsday and Avengers Secret Wars, but the Russo brothers' track record with Marvel Studios is amazing. Captain America the Winter Soldier, Captain America Civil War, Avengers Infinity War, and Avengers Endgame.
Yeah.
All amazing MCU movies.
All
There's
great
no
films.
reason for us to doubt them. And
Right.
they're bringing back Stephen McFeely, who was one of the writers for each of those projects as well. So there's no reason to think that Avengers Doomsday and Secret Wars won't be fantastic, and that if they continue on for the X-Men film, it won't be fantastic as well. And they're the type of directors who can really get exactly what they want out of an actor. So perhaps Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson could be a good Apocalypse under the direction of the Russo brothers and the writing of Stephen McFeely, and maybe Christopher Marcus if he returned as well. But like I said, this is just a rumor at this point in time. We know that Marvel Studios eyes actors for many different roles in the MCU. Kevin Feige, president of Marvel Studios, has confirmed that they meet with actors about multiple roles all the time. Sometimes they cast them, sometimes they don't. It depends on if they find that perfect role. Is the perfect role for Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson in the MCU Apocalypse? Go ahead and let me know your thoughts in the comments. Now, right now, we have an addition to the rumored X-Men cast so far. If you haven't kept up, right now it's said that Harris Dickinson is being eyed for Scott Summers, Sadie Sink as Jean Grey, Julia Butters as Kitty Pryde, and we have two new additions to talk about today. The first one is Margaret Qualley as Rogue. This is coming from the insider Jeff Snyder on the Hot Mic podcast. He reported about this yesterday, and he said another name has surfaced, Margaret Qualley, and he also made the point of noting that she signed on to a Disney and 20th Century movie this week. So she's in with Disney, and that does matter. But he
That looks
says, I
cool.
heard she might be Rogue. And I think people really like Margaret Qualley right now.
A lot of
She's
people
pretty
do.
well known right now, but she's not superstar status yet. And perhaps her in the MCU could bring her to that superstar status.
Yeah, and she hasn't stuck her foot in her mouth yet, like the girl that's playing Cinderella. Well, not Cinderella. What is it? Snow White. So if she can stay away from that kind of scandalous stuff, you know, she looks like I've seen her in a few things, and she seems like she's very loved at the moment. So
A lot of people have actually been saying that they hope Marvel Studios kind of does what they did with the beginning of the MCU, where they cast actors who weren't at that superstar level yet. They were known, but being in the MCU playing iconic characters took them to that level,
Yeah.
that next level. And it seems very clear right now that Marvel is casting for the X-Men and specifically Rogue, because the other casting rumor that we heard was from insider Daniel RPK, who has a good track record with Scoops, who says Jenna Ortega met with Marvel Studios about playing a big role in the MCU. Beyond Reporter also said that Marvel could be eyeing Jenna Ortega as well for a major role. Now, none of the reports specified which character. One said possibly Kitty Pryde, but a lot of people are speculating that she'd make a better Rogue than Kitty Pryde. And I actually really do like Julia Butters as Kitty Pryde more than I like Jenna Ortega as Kitty Pryde. And Jenna Ortega
agree with
is
that.
another one of those actors as well. Most people know her. She became really popular with Wednesday, Scream, Beetlejuice, and that Sabrina Carpenter music video for Taste. If you know, you know. So she's
Yeah.
really getting up there as well. In fact, she might already be at that kind of superstar status, but the MCU could just skyrocket that as well. So it seems like Marvel Studios' strategy right now is to kind of go for a mix of really big, well-known actors and some smaller actors who have done great work as well. And whether they're bigger actors or smaller actors, I don't think it really matters as long as they are the perfect person for that part. Because if they are, that means they can act like the character needs to act. out and they can pull off the look of the character. And again, like when it comes to The Rock, with great directing, actors can really be elevated to perform better than they would have on their own. So I think direction is a really big part of this. I think the writing is going to be a huge part of this. The X-Men movie already has a writer, Michael Leslie. And if this movie is going to be right after Secret Wars, that means it's going to start shooting next year, which is crazy to think about. But that's why Marvel Studios right now is trying to get the cast for the X-Men.
All right, guys, what did you guys think of that video? And what do you guys think of this? You know, shout out to the Cosmic Wonder. Nice. That was a very well put together video, man, and very informative.
Nice one.
You know, what do you guys think of when it comes to The Rock joining the MCU? I don't know how many of you guys watch wrestling, but he is currently, well, at WrestleMania, he was actually the final boss when it came to, you know, the Cody Rhodes saga, stuff like that. I think The Rock will make a pretty good Apocalypse, man. That's just my opinion, you know, but, you know, maybe with the Russo brothers directing it, they can bring that kind of energy out with The Rock. I think The Rock, you know, he's a workaholic, man. And I think with that push from great directors like the Russo brothers, he would actually be a pretty good Apocalypse. Guys, I'm a huge Havoc fan. I love the X-Men. I love X Factor. You guys let me know what kind of videos you would like for me to cover over here. You guys take care.